Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to beat Tian Ying on any difficulty, who is probably the hardest boss in Where Winds Meet. I have seen a ton of people complaining how bullshit the design of this boss is, and the fact that he has 3 phases is just ridiculous. And I couldn't agree more. It took me 2 days of trying to beat him until it finally clicked for me that he's actually not as difficult as I initially thought. I studied my previous fight attempts against him and tried to actively learn his moveset, and then it all became so much easier. I will now teach you everything I know so you can beat this guy easily and move on. Let's break down all of his 3 phases and how to deal with all of his attacks. I will have chapters added in the description so you can skip to any phase you want. Starting with phase 1, this is actually super easy compared to the other 2, and you should be able to finish it without taking any damage at all, because it's that easy. One of his more common attacks is raising his staff into the air. It starts lighting up and sand starts raining over him. This will take about 3 seconds, during which you are free to deal damage to him. However, after 3 seconds, his staff will flash and he will slam it into the ground, dealing damage and restoring a portion of his chi bar. At that moment, a button prompt will show up and you can press it to interrupt his attack and knock him down. This button prompt will correspond to where you have slotted your Meridian Touch Mystic skill. If you have it on the right side of the Mystic skill bar, the prompt will correspond to that. Just make sure you have the skill equipped. Another attack that he does is he pulls his staff backwards while crouching, and he is loading up his 4 attack combo, consisting of 3 quick attacks and then a pause, followed by 1 more attack. This is the easiest attack to parry, and you can use this to take out most of his chi bar. Simply wait for the winding animation to finish, then when he is about to hit you, just do parry, 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 wait 1 second and parry again. Another attack which is kind of hard to spot and parry is when he slightly lifts his left hand in the air and quickly slams it into the ground. Immediately, as soon as you see his left hand rise a bit up, press the parry button. Another attack is when he raises his staff to the left and back, which is followed by a slow attack which is easy to parry, and sometimes this can be followed by another sweeping attack coming from the right, also easy to parry. Another easy to parry attack is when he crouches down and jumps in the air, rotating his staff, which he will slam down into you, then he will raise his staff straight in the air and slam it down, after which he will slam down with his left palm. The parry pattern for this is to simply count 2 seconds after the animation starts. So when he crouches, start counting to 2 seconds, parry, count 2 seconds, parry, count 2 seconds, and parry again. There are 2 other attacks that he has, which he only uses if you stay far away from him. One is where he swings his staff from right to left and throws a shockwave at you, which you can easily dodge or parry. The other one is where he raises his staff in the air, sand starts raining over him, and after a short delay of about 2 seconds, sand will fall from above at your location. Dodge this one easily. For phase 1, just stay in his face and attack him constantly, because all of his attacks are easy to parry and you have a ton of opportunities to deal damage. He will always try to retreat back so he can cast his attacks, so make sure to chase him and don't let him breathe. Let's move on to phase 2, which is where the real boss fight starts. This phase is the opposite of phase 1, meaning that he moves very fast, he chases you around, and he has a lot of hard to parry attacks, some of them even one-shotting you. One of the attacks he does to close in on you is where he crouches, he dashes to your location, and then he does a spin kick. To parry this one, wait for him to dash and reach in front of you, then press the parry button, or if you have trouble with it, simply dodge back. Now, the real problem begins when you're fighting him close range. All of his attacks are palm strikes, which have 0 wind-up animation and hit instantly in quick succession. The key to identifying these attacks and parrying them is to always watch his left hand. Whenever he pulls it back, instantly press parry twice. He almost always does 2 palm strikes, one with his left hand and one with his right, and sometimes he only does 1, but more rarely. Another close range attack is when he charges his right hand and he summons the Buddha statue and sand appears around him. This is where you should just dodge out of the way, because these are harder to parry. Just wait for him to finish his Buddha attacks and resume fighting. Sometimes when you are hitting him in close range, he will enter a blocking stance by crossing his hands, reducing damage taken, and after 1 second delay, he will do a blast attack, which is hard to parry. Simply dodge backwards when he crosses his hands. Another attack that is hard to parry and can hit from both long and close range is his spinning kick attack combo. This is a combo of 4 hits, starting with a quick hit, then a 1-second pause and 3 other quick hits. The parry pattern for this is to watch when he crouches down and starts spinning, press parry once, wait 1 second and then press parry 3 times in quick succession. One other move he does is when he dashes backwards a long distance. This is a sign that he is about to fly into the air and summon the Buddha statue to do 3 attacks. You can interrupt this attack if you use something like the nameless sword dash martial art right after he dashes backwards. If you can't interrupt it, prepare to dodge with precise timing here, because these attacks can almost one-shot you. As soon as he jumps in the air, move backwards to the edge of the arena on the right side of the Buddha. The first attack the Buddha statue does is a sweeping attack with one of its right hands, which you don't have to dodge or parry because you are far away. The second attack is a ground slam with 2 of his hands, which sends a shockwave across the arena. The moment you want to dodge this one is immediately after his hands hit the ground. Press the dodge button. The third and last attack is the hardest one to dodge out of all of his attacks because it has almost no tell on when to dodge. He will pull both of his hands backwards and prepare to release a shockwave. What you want to do here is watch his hands closely, and the moment they start pushing forward, press dodge. It will take some time to get used to the timing, but you will get it eventually. The last attack he does for phase 2 is a red attack, which starts with him pulling both of his punches back towards his right side, loading up for about 1 second, then dashing towards you, pausing for half a second, and punching you. You want to always try to parry this because it gives you a good window to deal damage. Simply wait for him to dash towards you, then pause for half a second until you see the red flash, then press parry. Moving on to phase 3, which is the final and by far the hardest one. All of his attacks in this phase are much faster and they have an almost instant cast animation, so you have to react very fast to his movement, but once you understand what to look for, it becomes much easier. The key to parrying most of his attacks in this phase is to simply start spamming parry immediately when you see him moving in any way. One of his attacks he does when you are far away from him is he spins and prepares his dagger on his right side, then disappears and reappears after about 1 second and does a quick stab attack forward. He usually does this 2 times in a row, and you can either parry it or just dodge to the side to avoid it completely. Another attack is when he crouches and pulls his dagger to his left side, followed by a 1 second pause, and then a sweeping attack while also jumping backwards. Either parry or dodge this. Another attack is when he spins in place and does a dagger slash from right to left. This one seems to be missing on its own most of the time, but you can simply dodge or parry it immediately after he starts spinning. Another attack is when he crouches and pulls his dagger backwards towards his left side, followed by a 1 second delay, then a slash while jumping in the air, then a half a second delay and a slash attack downwards. The parry pattern for this is to wait 1 second, parry, wait half a second, parry. Another attack is when he raises his dagger to his right side, which is followed by a slash down and another slash immediately after. Just press parry 2 times in quick succession. Another attack, which is super fast, is when he pulls his dagger slightly backwards on his right side and then does a quick stab attack, followed by a 1 second pause and a spinning slash attack. Immediately when you see his right hand moving, press parry, wait 1 second and press parry again. Another attack is when he disappears while jumping backwards, which is followed by him appearing once, then disappearing for about 2 seconds, appearing again, disappearing for 2 seconds, and when he appears a third time, he will do a stab attack followed by a jump in the air and 2 spinning kicks. The parry sequence for this is to immediately parry when he appears, then wait 1 second and press parry 2 times in quick succession. Now, another attack that he does, which is his most dangerous attack, is when he jumps in the air and summons 3 sand clones and disappears. This attack is really tough to defend against because you have to either kill his clones to make him appear or parry his attacks 3 times. While the clones are spawned, he will be invisible and appear from time to time to attack you, while at the same time the clones are chasing you and attacking you. It's almost impossible to fight the clones and also dodge or parry his attacks at the same time, so you should focus on running away from his clones and waiting for him to appear so you can parry his attacks. Keep in mind that each time you parry him, one of his clones will disappear, so all you have to do is parry 3 of his attacks and all the clones will disappear and he will appear again in a downed state, allowing you to deal free damage. The key here is to ignore the clones completely, just sprint away from them and pay very close attention to your screen for when he appears. Sometimes he might appear from a blind spot, but you should be ready and also pay attention to the audio, since he makes a sound when spawning. On average, I have noticed that he spawns once every 5 seconds to attack, so just count 5 seconds and get ready to instantly parry when he appears. You will get used to this the more you practice. His last attack, which he does only when he is far away from you, is when he crouches down and spins his dagger towards his left side while charging an attack. Pay attention to the dagger, and when he stops spinning, get ready because the attack is starting. The attack consists of him teleporting around you and attacking you 6 times in total, with a pause after the 3rd hit. The parry sequence here is to wait for the dagger to stop spinning, then press parry immediately 3 times in quick succession, then wait about half a second, and press parry 3 times again in quick succession. These are all the possible attacks he can do in all of his 3 phases. Try to learn the timings so you can deal with him easier. Of course, there are many other things you can do to make this fight easier, besides learning his attack pattern. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that your build or stats don't matter at all, because they absolutely do. The more damage you can deal, the shorter the fight, so the less chances of dying. Same goes for your defensive stats, they help a lot. However, one thing stands out from all the possible upgrades you can have, and that is your medicine capacity. This boss having 3 phases means that the fight will take very long, and he has such fast and long attack combos that you are guaranteed to get hit a lot. This means that the more medicines you have on you, the higher the chances to beat him. I recommend upgrading your medicine capacity up to at least 4, especially if you are on legend difficulty. When I finally beat him on legend, I had to use all of my 5 medicines, so if I had one less I would have failed. If you're on a lower difficulty, you can probably do it with 2 or 3 medicines as well, if you pay really well. You can upgrade your medicine capacity either by collecting medicine tails and deliver them to Everclear Clinic in Steel Shore, or by purchasing the Battle Pass, which can give you up to 2 extra medicine capacity if you buy the Premium Battle Pass. Besides medicines, I suggest using Fire Oil during phase 2 and 3, just to deal a bit more damage and speed things up. You can use inner ways such as Morale Chant, Adaptive Steel or Divine Roulette to boost your damage a bit more. For mystic skills, you should try to obtain Ghostly Steps and use it when he spawns his Sand Claws in phase 3, as it allows you to move away from them faster and dodge the Buddha statue attacks easier in phase 2. When it comes to your build, I'm sure you can beat this boss with any type of build, but if you are struggling and want to make things easier, I recommend using the Nameless Sword and Nameless Spear combo, which I think is one of the best for boss fights. The Daunting Strike martial art of the sword allows you to get close to the boss, interrupt any of his attacks, especially the Buddha statue summoning attack, and you also gain a chi shield. The Nameless Spear is the best weapon for dealing damage while bosses have their chi depleted and are stunned in place. Whenever you stun a boss, immediately switch to your spear and hold your heavy attack button to perform the Storm Dance attack. This deals insane damage and consumes your stamina at the same time, so make sure you have a lot of stamina before stunning the boss. Another thing you can do to help with this fight is to collect oddities and unlock the damage versus bosses and damage reduction versus bosses nodes for the Melodies of Peace in the Qing area. I hope this video helps you to defeat this bullshit boss once and for all, and let me know down in the comments if you have succeeded to beat him. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.